What's up guys, DC19 through your gaming tech, and I got a question for you. Are you too old to be playing dedicated handheld gaming devices? When I say that, I mean PSP, 3DSs, Vita, Game Boy Color, Nomads, Neo Geo Pockets, Game Gears, Game Boy Colors, the original brick. I'm talking dedicated handheld gaming devices. I'm not talking mobile phones, I'm not talking PDAs or tablets. And I'm also talking ages 16, 17, all the way up to like 50, however old you're still playing games. So in recent events, we basically have people in some videos and comment sections and people with their own opinion. You're entitled to your own opinion. No one's griping you for it. So I'm just asking a general question. Are you too old to be playing dedicated handheld gaming devices? So here's what I have to say about that. They basically have people that said that the dedicated gaming devices, you're no grown adult should be playing that. It feels like a toy in your hand. Why would you spend $200 to $300 or $150 on either of those handheld devices when you have a PS3 or a Wii or PS3 or Xbox 360 or PC in your house? Or if you have a mobile phone device, why would you buy a $40, a $29 or $39.99 game for that when you could buy a game for 99 cents, sometimes free? Or $7.99, and those games are close to dedicated handheld devices. So here's what I have to say about that. You have games that are close to that, then there are games on mobile phones that are coming close to console. But when they start to do that, they start to lose out in physics. They start to lose out in game mechanics. They start to lose out in requirements. Now you gotta get, if you have a phone that's too old, you can't play some of these games. If your phone's not getting the latest update, you gotta tweak it, or you gotta run out and buy a new phone, because these mobile phones are kind of like PC nowadays. If you have like the Samsung Vibrate, you can't even play Grand Theft Auto Liberty City on it unless you tweak your phone or run a different ROM on it or run out and buy a new phone. So there's too many things to do when you have a dedicated handheld gaming device that has developers and the hardware stays the same and nothing's changing. It's just one set price and all you're doing is buying games for it, instead of buying a mobile phone every now and then to upgrade, to stay up on top. Then it comes down to, why would you want to play games on a mobile phone when you could burn out the phone battery? Then you have a major important call coming because you're sitting down at the airport waiting and your phone dies and now you don't have no one to call anyone. Instead, you have a dedicated gaming device to do all that. Then those 99, then again, like some of those 99-cent games, you're gonna start seeing on mobile phones. I mean, on the Vita, you're already starting to see Zenonia on there. You're already starting to see Angry Birds on there. You're gonna start seeing all those games. You got the eShop having all of those games. Then you've got PlayStation Mobile bringing or migrating all those Android and iOS games that they can to mobile, to the 3DS and the Vita. So you have all those games already going to be on there. Then your mobile phone and then your 3DS and Vita are basically almost as close. So you can browse on your browser on your mobile phone. You could you could watch Netflix. You could watch YouTube on your mobile phone. You could do all of that on the 3DS, and the 3DS is going to get a YouTube browser any minute now. The Vita, you could already do all that. You could Skype call. So you basically do all that. These dedicated gaming devices are starting to be more of like mobile devices, so they're not childish. Then you have game content that's not for the general public, for children. They're for adults. They're geared to adults. Look at Assassin's Creed Liberation. Look at games that are starting to look so great in graphics, like Assassin's Creed Liberation. Look at the free roaming world. Look at all of that. So you can't miss out on stuff like that because you have a one set mind. Don't knock it till you try it. I have a story that I'm going to say on that in a few minutes. Then you have games that's like Disgaea. Disgaea may look like a child's game, but it's not. You have adult humor, you have adult cursing, you have graphic content in there, sometimes nudity and all that stuff. That's not for kids. Then you have games like Monster Hunter. That game's not for kids. It's geared for adults and teenagers. So you can't really say that. Then you got games like Soul Sacrifice, MLB The Show, Street Fighter, Ragnarok Odyssey. You have all those adult-like games, Killzone. All those games are coming for dedicated handheld gaming devices that you won't find. Now there's going to be that question: why would you go? What about the guys that sit at home on their dedicated, their PSP, their 3DS PSPs or 3DS or Vita on their couch when they got their PS3 or PC in front of them or Xbox in front of them? There are games that are on dedicated handheld gaming devices that you're not seeing on consoles. There's no Pokemon on the Wii. There's no certain games that's on the Vita, that's on the 3DS, or on PSP that's on the PS3. There are games that's on dedicated handheld devices that should be on consoles, but it's not. you're missing out on certain games while they're not, because they have an open, opinionated mind to play games on the go. As a gamer, you don't basically generally judge how you game. You game how you want to game. It's your fix. So I understand what some people are saying, but you can't really say that. So the next thing is a judgmental mind. Now I have a story to tell you guys. Basically, I was sitting at an airport like a few months ago. I was going to New York to see my mom. I was sitting down playing the Vita, and I had an older gentleman next to me, and he saw me pull out the Vita. I started playing on it. I got off of it to make a Skype call. I called my brother on it just to see how he's doing. And the guy looks over at me. He asked me, "How old are you?" I said, I told him how old I was. Then he asked me, is that your kids? Why are you playing that? Aren't you a little too old for that? I said, no, this is how I game. I mean, like some guys that basically say, why would you play on a mobile phone game? I mean, on a dedicated hand device when you have a PS3. I mean, are you gonna go pay $250 for that suitcase with the 24-inch monitor and only an hour-long battery life and lug that heavy thing around with you to play it because you don't want to play on a handheld? Or play on your phone and burn your phone battery out? Or are you gonna have a magic utility belt to play your PS3 in? That's crazy. So that's what a PSP is. It's an on-the-go device. Now back to the story. Now this guy, after about 20-30 minutes, I told him that this is how I game. This is what I do for my wasting time instead of pulling out. And then on top, pulling out. That's what I pull out to pass the time. Then you have then he pulls out his then you have stuff real quick. Then you have e-readers and stuff like that. Then you have basically everything that mobile phones have. You're gonna have on a dedicated handheld device real soon. Hold up. Sorry, I don't chug 2-liter bottles of sodas and shit like that. So then like 20-30 minutes later, this guy pulls out of his iPad and starts playing Angry Birds on it. I'm looking at him like, how do you have the nerve to say anything to me about that? That's ridiculous. A game is a game. How you game, it's still a handheld gaming device. Look at all those games that people compare to now. It's on a gaming device. For you to ask me, am I still playing? But you're like in your late 30s playing that. Then I had another story of a guy. He see me at work a lot playing on my Galaxy S3. He sees me playing Dead Trigger. Now he comes up to me and he basically says, "Yo, how old are you?" I tell him the same thing again. This is how I game. So I said, "Why don't you try it?" He saw me playing Dead Trigger. He downloaded Dead Trigger on his iPhone. This guy, I swear, till this day doesn't put that down. Every day I see him at work, he asks me for a different game. There goes that ability to knock people down when you have no idea. You can't knock it till you try it. You may get addicted to it, so you can't really say that. So the question I have for you is, dedicated handheld gaming devices, are you too old for them? That's the question I asked for you guys. So tell me in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, and comment. This is your host, DC19 Gaming Tech. Peace out, people.